baby born and get it over with.
Born weeks before nature intended.
Oh, he'll be fine. I have explained the medical situation. I assessed all the risks. I tried to be supportive of you all the way through it. And did it work? Clearly not, because you were still obsessing. You shut up. The sooner the baby is born, the sooner Star is cured. You understand that? Then maybe, just maybe, we can start dealing with this child as something other than the in utero crisis it has been to us since day one.
Is that how you feel about it?
I see him as the ultimate threat to you and me. Yes, I do. He is the center of your universe. Not bad for a kid who nobody even asked for.
That's enough,
It
Mom.
is enough. Go home. Go anywhere. But let Dr. Sands and her team do their job. Please.
We always stood by one another.
Well, what they say, you know, the truth will out with this baby. Will be out too. Next week, in fact.
Delivery on demand, right?
You have already agreed to this, Pat.
I'm not going back on my word, Blair. I'm just saying you should hold off until the last possible moment.
Well, guess what? We are out of time. You tell Dr. Sands to get ready and start conditioning Star right now for the procedure. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Where are you going?
I'm going to go home. Now, Star's going to be in isolation. I want her to have her toys and her clothes with her, all right? Come on.
Patrick, wait.
You said your piece, and I heard you. I'll take care of this. Blair, please, could you just talk to me?
You know what? I am not going to stand here and listen to your second thoughts about a decision you have already made. Or worse, let you try and convince me not to go through with this transplant, Patrick.
Do you really believe that's what I was doing?
God, I don't know what to think.
You said a few days ago that if you had to make a choice between your son or your daughter, if only one of them could live, you couldn't possibly do it. Well, I feel the same way. I will do whatever is in my power to help Star, but I want my son to have the best possible chance at this.
Son, you mean the unwanted problem. The big mistake.
Don't take what Margaret said to heart.
Maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to deal with it. You know, we'll leave it to your precious Marty to make a human life sound like a personal inconvenience.
She's angry and afraid, Blair.
Oh, I'm not. You're not?
She's feared this baby would come between us from the very beginning. It's like a storm on the horizon. Now this transplant and this premature delivery, and it's all hell's broken loose for her.
You know what? Join the club.
I'm sorry, just hang on one second. You know position. You shouldn't be driving here. There's rain coming in. Come on.
Give me my keys. I
No.
gotta get home.
Let me drive
Patrick.
you. Let me drive you home. We're mature, responsible adults, aren't we? Come on.
I should just let Joey go? You wanted my advice, that's it. Well, you don't understand. No, Kelly, maybe I understand perfectly well, but you'd rather hear a different answer. No, I mean, how could you possibly know what this is all about? You are married to a minister,
So what does that
Cassie.
supposed to mean?
That my life is easy? That it's safe, it's certain? No, but you're in a different spot than I am. I am nuts in love with this person. I cannot go 5 minutes without thinking about him. It's impossible. How his fingers press on the back of my shoulders when he holds me. His lips are hard and soft at the same time. And when he whispers, there's a rumble in his chest before the words come. Dan, you don't think I ever feel that? I don't know, but the man that I am in love with, I am nuts about. And he's not even mine. He's not mine officially. Kathy, you have a husband. How could you possibly know what this feels like? How would you like it if you woke up one day and saw that the man that you are absolutely sure that you're going to marry doesn't ever want to see you again? Kelly, I'm sure it'd be horrible. Yes, it's horrible. Want to know how horrible it is? This is how I found out, so I can read it every day, over and over again, in and out, so I can gag every time I see it. This is what it means to be written off, okay? He used to beg me to come to Paris all the time. Every day he used to say that. Now, you know what he says? He says, don't even bother. Don't come. Read it. Read it for yourself.
Okay. We've been so close, we know each other's thoughts, no matter what the words are.
So even on the phone, when you say how much you miss me and you want to come over, what I hear is how much you need to figure out what's right for you on your own. Maybe I can hear it because I'm feeling the same way. Whichever, it's obvious we both need some time and space to find out who we are and what we want to do. This could have been written by his brother.
Kevin?
Yes, all the Buchanan arrogance, the selfishness, you can't miss it.
What do you think, was he doing a number on
Yes,
me?
Kelly, of course he is. Come on, he knows how to push all the right notes. Listen to this. We know each other's thoughts. We're so close. Come on. The damn phony, he's not concerned about you, Kelly. He only wants what's right for him. He wants what he wants when he wants it, period, all right? The hell with what it does to anybody else's life.
Pretty slick, huh?
If you mean eloquent, I agree.
Give me a break.
Look, you have every right to be distressed, to be angry, but if the letter's any indication, I say Joey acted honorably and appropriately.
A sleazy take a hike notice is appropriate and honorable?
I think what he tried to do was let you down as easily as possible.
Yes, he let me down easy for him. Because of what Cassie said. I mean, he didn't care about how it would make me feel. He just wanted to make sure that everything worked out exactly the way he wanted. Right? Yeah.
It's a little too easy to blame one person for the failure of a relationship.
Andrew, he's the one who said, see ya.
He took the final step, Kelly, but it wasn't the only one that led you there.
Oh, okay. This is all my fault.
It's not about blame. It's about the choices people make. Weren't you the one that said no when Joey asked you to go to Paris with him?
Yeah, I had to stay. Blair wanted me to. Star was sick, Andrew.
Did it ever occur to you that Joey might have needed you to?
Oh, come on, Andrew. She made a commitment to her family.
Yes, and that is very admirable. It's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that Kelly and Joey chose to be apart. That's a risk for any couple. That doesn't matter if they're separated by an ocean or a kitchen table.
What are you saying? Are you saying that this is 100% natural?
I'm saying it's understandable.
What do I do now?
You get on with the life that you have here in Landview. You let Joey go.
Forget about him? How?
Slowly. A little bit at a time.
I can't do that. Joey is the one person who made me feel like I could really be me. I can't wipe him away as if I would do that to a blackboard or something.
Kelly, it's gonna be all right.
No, you know what's so funny is I don't think I'm being heard here, okay? Joey accepted me. I don't care if it was my mother who was in an insane asylum or Aunt Dorian who ought to have been. Everything was okay. It was accepted. If you are so full of advice, I want you to tell me something. You tell me where I can find another Joey if you can, and when you cannot find him, you tell me how. You expect me to live with myself.
Kelly? Do you even have the slightest idea why you told Kelly that this is all Joey's fault?
I better go see how she's doing.
No. I want to know how we're doing, Cassie. How are we? I really think that's the answer that we ought to get right now, once and for all.
Father, I know how that must have sounded just now, but I assure you it doesn't affect my commitment to Star's treatment at all. Not in any way.
No. All my kids' doctors blow up like that, like a landmine.
Oh, Todd.
Oh, come on, you heard her. She practically said that her lover boy's baby was a mistake. Now, I agree with her, and I'm okay to... It's okay for me to say it, but coming from her, it's scary as hell. She's a doctor.
I lost it, all right? It won't happen again.
You're right, it won't happen again, because you're not going anywhere near my kid. You're a doctor, Marty. You're a professional. You are to make my little girl better. You have no right to take any of this personal.
You know things are bad when Todd Manning says things about you and they're true.
Oh, Marty. Oh, Marty, come on. Honey, you have been very afraid of what this baby might mean to your relationship with Patrick for months now. With all that pent-up anxiety, an explosion is inevitable, it seems to me, that the fact that the baby's about to be born is a very logical trigger.
Yeah, why doesn't that make me feel any better?
You're not going to like what I'm going to say to you now, but you have to hear it.
No, I know.
I screwed up.
Oh, no. No, this isn't about that. No, this is about your nightmare and your dreams.
What?
When I first knew you, you were a very frightened little girl. Half the time you were so drunk you couldn't even stand up, and you had a terrible sadness in your eyes. But you know, there was also a watchfulness there, as if you were on the lookout for somebody who could rescue you from that awful morass that you seemed to be in.
I was alone.
Yeah, you were alone.
Back then, even when I was with people, I was alone.
And you ached for love. Just ached for it. But somehow it never quite seemed to find you. You know, I watched you through the years as you pulled yourself together, and then as you struggled with what Todd had done to you, and as you struggled with Dylan. And then all of a sudden, there was Patrick, the man that you'd been hoping for.
I think I knew somehow the minute I saw him.
He was the man of your dreams, darling. The man who was going to put that fairy tale ending on your story to make up for all the loneliness that you had suffered.
Yeah, we could have had such a perfect life together.
No. No, you couldn't. That's my point. Sweetheart, you're a person, not a character in a fairy tale. Patrick is a person. People do not have perfect lives. People careen through their years. They cope as best they can, and they bump into one another and everyone else along the way. Did you ever notice how when the prince and princess live happily ever after in the fairy tale, it's because nobody else is around? That's how you know it's a fairy tale. It's not nearly messy.
Yeah, like real life.
Yeah. Real life is complicated. Love is complicated. But the good news about love is that there is always, always, always enough to give to one more person. Now, Patrick is going to love that baby.
He already does.
But that's fine, sweetheart. Because it does not mean that he's going to love you any less. If you think that, then you're living in a fairy tale. See, I think there is a lot less to fear than you think there is.
I can't seem to get past the point where I lose him.
You think you're going to lose Patrick because of the baby? Yeah, well, that's nonsense. Really, it's nonsense. In fact, I would lay odds on the fact that you're going to wind up loving that little boy yourself. And as far as Blair is concerned, even if she doesn't reconcile with Todd, she'll eventually marry somebody else, and then she won't be turning to Patrick so much. Which is going to leave you and your prince with, if not exactly a fairy tale ending, at least a little peace. And in this life, that ain't half bad.
Thank you. You're terrific.
Oh, come on.
No, you are.
Where are you going?
Do something real. I'm going to apologize to Patrick. And to Blair.
Patrick, wait. I just want to make sure that we're straight about this. Look, I get the feeling that you resent the fact that I chose to go ahead with this premature delivery, and I would tell you what I told you before, that there's no way I would have ever consented to this procedure if I didn't think that you and I, we would have a healthy, happy baby when it was all over with.
And I hope that's exactly what we're gonna have.
It took you long enough.
Well, I'm Irish and I'm stubborn. But I'm also careful. That means you're gonna have to put on your seatbelt.
Oh, no, it's too tight. It cuts into me. The baby hates it. He kicks all the time.
It's too dangerous to drive without it.
No, Patrick, I'm going to be fine, really. I'll be fine. Come on, let's just go. Come on.
stuffing. Come here, come here, come here.
Heaven sighs.
This son of ours is going to be put into this world in just a few more days. Well, we haven't made a single plan for when he shows up.
Well, I'll feed him and he'll sleep. How's that for start?
That's not what I mean. We haven't bought anything. We haven't set anything up for him. There isn't even a crib.
Well, you know, we don't have to worry about any of that. Todd bought so much stuff when Star...
No. No son of mine's going to start his life with hand-me-downs, especially from Todd Manning.
Okay. How's this? You set up a nursery in your garret for the times that you're taking care of the baby, and I'll use whatever's in the penthouse. I mean, I'll be the one watching the baby, not Todd.
Okay.
Thank you, Daddy. What?
Well, there's one more thing. The matter of a name.
Oh, let me guess. You've got one in mind.
Mm-hmm. Brendan. St. Brendan, the explorer.
Who?
St. Brendan, a 6th century Irish monk who set sail and went out into an uncharted sea and made it an open boat all the way to Newfoundland.
How do people do things like that?
Hitch up their sails and take chances, which is the only thing I could ever ask of my son.
Brendan.
Brendan Thornton.
Remember when we went to Logan's to the toy store, you know, you had that choo-choo train? A great big teddy bear. Well, that was fun, right? You'll have fun again soon. Promise. I want you to think about how many people want you to get well, and I want you to think about how I'm pulling for you, and I want you to think about how I love you.
There must be a horrible bug in this town. You sound worse than the poor man down the hall from me. Well, guess where I am? Oh! No, save your voice. I'm in a dive. But at least I'm free. Thanks to your brilliant legal find, Taya Delgado. And I have some other news. I had myself tested as a possible donor for Star. As I told you before, well, I think it's the least I can do for all the kindnesses that you've done for me. I have another favor to ask you, though. Oh, please don't think I'm greedy. It's just that freedom has a price, and I just can't pay it right now. You don't sound very enthusiastic. Well, if you could see my current address, you would understand why a once-and-future mayor deserves to have lodging that doesn't resemble the end of the road. And new clothes are vital to restore my constituents' faith in me, or at least in my image. These projects take commitment. $50,000 ought to cover it. Well, it's just until I get reelected. All right, $40,000. It'll be a limited makeover. Oh, I'm touched. Only you would make it a point to boost my self-esteem when I'm feeling my least attractive. You are a truly special being.
What, nothing to say? No comment, as you newspaper people put it?
I didn't realize I was being interviewed.
You're not. It's an attempt at a conversation. Do you remember what that is? It's where you say something honest, I respond just as truthfully. I'd like the subject to be the future of our marriage.
Why are you so angry?
Why am I angry? Well, let me count the ways. I don't even have to, because they all have to do with the one man you constantly think about, and it doesn't happen to be me.
If that is a reference to Kevin, you're wrong.
You're in love with him.
Oh, you're wrong again.
Well, excuse me. I guess that wasn't you who was absolutely focused on Kevin and Taya the day we got snowed in at the Mountain Sunset Inn. And that wasn't you who was beside herself about the young lady up at Statesville, who was locked away as an accessory to murder because she stabbed her decent, steady, though slightly dull husband. Yeah, you managed to turn that poor girl's tragedy into some guilt fantasy about your attraction to Kevin.
This is ridiculous.
Is it? That wasn't you at Bo's birthday party? That wasn't you at Rhodey's the other night? Every time you see Kevin and Taya together, you're so mesmerized by the sight of them, you're absolutely miserable. You're speechless.
Kevin is an acquaintance, a colleague.
Oh, for God's sakes, Cassie, be honest with me. Don't I at least deserve that?
You know, I thought this was supposed to be an attempt at a conversation, not an interrogation.
10 minutes ago, I heard you lambaste Joey, who had done nothing whatsoever wrong, and you know and I know that all the heat and all the passion came right off of your attraction to Kevin Buchanan.
What I said to Kelly had nothing to do with
Okay,
Kevin.
so it's all groundless. It's just a paranoid delusion.
You know, Andrew, of course I noticed Kevin and Taya. You know that? All the time. They're a novelty. I'm not really used to seeing them. All right? And you know what? They happen to be a very attractive couple.
I would rather have the most painful truth than the easiest lie from you. Don't you know that about me by now? All right. You know, I've done everything that I can do. I've tried to give you space. And I have been patient. And enough is enough. Do you want to be in this marriage? Or is it over?
You have kids, right? Any of them obviously put the hand cupped over their ear like this?
Yeah, Jessica.
Must be a girl thing.
Maybe. And maybe it's a daddy thing, that you can soothe a little girl enough so that she trusts sleep in a scary place. You have a gift, Todd.
She was just tired.
Oh, dear, dear, dear. God forbid you should take pride in a perfectly wonderful natural instinct for parenting.
You're kidding, right? I mean, this is not the father of the year. This is me you're talking to, remember?
Oh, yes. Todd the unchangeable. Todd the hopeless.
I kind of like the way that sounds.
Sometimes I think you keep those wounds open on purpose. So I'm warning you, be careful. They're going to heal when you least expect it. It almost happened once before.
When?
In Ireland. Hey, for all intents and purposes, you were dead, right? You said so yourself. And yet you survived. And what sustained you? Thoughts of Blair and a second chance. By the time you were well enough to come home, you were primed to change.
It's too bad Blair and Patrick didn't know that I was coming. They could have made me a cake instead of a baby.
What are you thinking?
Oh. It's just weird. You know, I always figured that things have to go from dark to darker. I mean, for me, anyway.
Not necessarily.
Well, you see, that's the thing, and... I mean, you said it yourself, right? I was dead. I mean, it doesn't get any worse than that, but... something good came out of it. I realized how much I missed Blair. And yeah, that whole thing with her and Patrick, that knocked me flat again, but... the baby that they made is gonna save Star. And so it's like, no matter how rotten a time is, there's always something good that can come out of it.
Even for you.
Yeah. Go figure.
No. Don't figure, please. be very grateful that in this case, Blair and Patrick's baby is more than just a good thing. It's a miracle.
When Star's all better, I promise you, I'm going to make up for all the time that I didn't pay attention to you. And I'm going to listen to the rain more. And I am going to just spoil you rotten.
Not too rotten, I hope.
And you know what we're going to do? We're going to go out and play in the rain together and go to adventures and places that we've never been before, just like St. Brendan. And when the day is over, I'll lay you down and get asleep.
I have the perfect Irish tune for that. Soldiers are we whose lives are pledged to Ireland. Some have come from a land across the sea.
Well, the nautical motif works for me, but I don't think I heard a melody or a lullaby.
Well, I didn't say it was. It's the Irish national anthem. Hey, it's good enough for my dad to teach to me. It'll be good enough for me to pass on to my son.
Okay.
I'll have to teach it to you. It goes like that. Sing it with
Oh,
me.
now?
Yeah. Soldiers are we.
You hear that, baby?
Sing it.
Soldiers are we.
Don't make fun of me. Whose lives are pledged to Ireland.
Whose lives are pledged to Ireland.
That's a nice try. Now we'll have to sing it in the Irish.
Oh, come on. Are you kidding?
Okay, listen. Sinna fina foil.
Sinna fina foil.
Ata feaule glerin.
Uh-oh. It's a feale glerin.
All right.
Sinna fina foil.
Listen to your mother singing in the Irish.
La la. I can't do the rest of it. La la.
I'll teach you to. La la is good for now.
La la. I'm in a world apart. Joey.
And when she gets something from above, every day goes.
Get up! Hang on!
I just had an accident on Route 9. I don't know. You gotta go help them, okay?
Blair! Are you all right? Blair, come on, wake up. Come on! Sweet Jesus, get me! Help me! Come on!
Oh my God, what is you?
The car's liable to blow up. I need your help. Come on. Blair's stuck in here. I can't get her out. Don't wake up!
Andrew, I love you.
I know.
So how could you question whether I'd stay or not? I would never walk out on this marriage.
Probably not. Not physically, anyway. But emotionally, Cassie, you've been gone for quite some while.
Andrew, sweetheart, we come on, we just need some time together. We just need to put the fun back into things. We can do that.
You sound like me a couple of months ago. You know, that's when I thought some saxophone music and a little love over at Logan's was going to keep Kevin Buchanan away, but I know better than that.
You can't give up on me like that.
I'm empty.
Come on, Andrew. You can't be empty. You're the one person that everybody in town comes to for help. Come on, Andrew Carpenter can never be empty.
Time and time again, I watched you be attracted to Kevin. And then I ran out of ways to woo you back. I kind of feel like the man who's trying to stop the tide with a teacup. Sometimes you just got to stand back and let the water go where it wants.
Come on, Andrew, you cannot give up on me. Please, give me another chance. We can work this out.
I don't know if I believe that anymore.
I do. Come on. I love everything that I have with you and River. I love everything that we have together.
But it's not enough. Isn't that what the next words would have been?
No.
Let me ask you something, okay? And please just tell me the truth, okay? The phone rings, and it's Kevin. And he says, Cassie, I love you. And I broke it off with Taya. Come be with me. You'd go. No matter how much you love me, no matter how much you love River, or what we have together, you would go, wouldn't you? See, not that this is going to stop the tide either, but I love you too. More than you'll ever know. Or find out. It's late. I'm tired.
Andrew.
No, Drew, I hope it's you. You left your keys in the car or something so I can leave you outside the rot.
Star's in excellent shape. The donor's a great match. All things considered, you couldn't ask for better circumstances.
And this whole deal, it all starts tonight.
As soon as we finish here, I'll take Star up to radiology. There is one side effect you should be aware of.
What's that?
The conditioning process tends to debilitate patients, especially children. It will leave Star quite weak and listless.
How much is quite?
I'd say she'll be even less energetic and responsive than she was when she came into the emergency room when the original diagnosis was made.
Serious. She could barely move that night.
True, but once the transplant is completed, the stem cells will start to reproduce almost immediately, and Star will make progress on all fronts. Do you have any other questions?
Yeah. You gonna cure my little girl?
I promise to do everything I can for her.
That's as much as anyone can ask.
Hey. Remember everything I said, okay? You remember that choo-choo train and then the big big teddy bear? I'll see you later.
Mr. Manning.
Yeah.
Todd, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, no, I know. No sweat.
God, I wish I could stay. I gotta go home to Jesse.
Okay. I'll see you later.
I know you're gonna worry, but keep this one thing in mind, okay? A few days ago, Star's future was tenuous at best. She's got a donor now. Her life has been saved.
Well, I don't care if the accident's been reported yet. There's no bloody ambulance. And I don't see a sign. No, you listen to me. There's a woman in here. She's hurt. She's been in the car. She's pregnant. Thank you. That's, yes. Route 9, where it meets Oak Street. Thank you, so thank you. Right. They'll be here in 2 minutes with an EMS crew. All right?
It may not be soon enough.
What do you mean?
I don't feel